In the name of Almighty God, the Swiss people and the Cantons, mindful of their responsibility towards creation, resolved to renew their alliance so as to strengthen liberty, democracy, independence, and peace in a spirit of solidarity and openness towards the world. Determined to live together with mutual consideration and respect for their diversity. Conscious of their common achievements and their responsibility towards future generations. And in the knowledge that only those who use their freedom remain free. And that the strength of a people is measured by the well-being of its weakest members. Adopt the following Constitution. Title 1. General Provisions. Article 1. The Swiss Confederation. The people and the cantons form the Swiss Confederation. Article number 2. The aims. The Swiss Confederation shall protect the liberty and rights of the people and safeguard the independence and security of the country. It shall promote the common welfare, sustainable development, internal cohesion, and cultural diversity of the country. It shall ensure the greatest possible equality of opportunity amongst citizens. It is committed to the long-term preservation of natural resources and to a just and peaceful international order. Article 3. The Cantons. The cantons are sovereign except to the extent that their sovereignty is limited by the federal constitution. They exercise all rights that are not vested in the Constitution. Article 4. National languages. The national languages are German, French, Italian, and Romansh. Article 5. Rule of law. All activities of the state are based on and limited by law. State activities must be conducted in the public interest and be proportionate to the ends sought. State institutions and private persons shall act in good faith. The Confederation and the cantons shall respect international law. Article 5. Subsidiarity. The principle of subsidiarity must be observed in the allocation and performance of state tasks. Article 6. Individual and collective responsibility. All individuals shall take responsibility for themselves and shall, according to their ability, contribute to achieving the task of the state and society. Title 2. Fundamental Rights, Citizenship, and Social Goals. Chapter 1. Fundamental Rights. Article 7. Human Dignity. Human dignity must be respected and protected. Article 8. Equality before the law. Every person is equal before the law. No person may be discriminated against in particular on grounds of origin, race, gender, age, language, social position, way of life, religious, ideological, or political convictions, or because of a physical, mental, or psychological disability. Men and women have equal rights. The law shall ensure their equality both in law and in practice, most particularly in the family, in education, and in the workplace. Men and women have the right to equal pay for equal value. The law shall provide for the elimination of inequalities that affect persons with disabilities. Article 9. Protection against arbitrary conduct and principle of good faith. Every person has the right to be treated by state authorities in good faith and in a non-arbitrary manner. Article 10. The right to life and to personal freedom. Every person has the right to life. The death penalty is prohibited. Every person has the right to personal liberty and, in particular, to physical and mental integrity, and to freedom of movement. Torture and any form of cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment are prohibited. Article 11. Protection of children and young people. Children and young people have the right to special protection of their integrity and to the encouragement of their development. They may personally exercise their rights to the extent that their power of judgment allows. Article 12. Right to assistance when in need. Persons in need and unable to provide for themselves have the right to assistance and care, and to the financial means required for a decent standard of living. Article 13. The right to privacy. Every person has the right to privacy in their private and family life and in their home, and in the relation to their mail and telecommunications. Every person has the right to be protected against the misuse of their personal data. Article 14. The right to marry and have a family. The right to marry and have a family is guaranteed. Article 15. Freedom of religion and conscience. Freedom of religion and conscience is guaranteed. Every person has the right to choose freely their religion or their philosophical convictions and to profess them alone or in community with others. Every person has the right to join or to belong to a religious community and to follow religious teachings. No person may be forced to join or belong to a religious community to participate in a religious act or to follow religious teachings. Article 16. Freedom of expression and of information. Freedom of expression and of information is guaranteed. Every person has the right to freely form, express, and impart their opinions. Every person has the right freely to receive information, to gather it from generally accessible sources, and to disseminate it. Article 17. Freedom of the media. Freedom of the press, radio, and televisions, and of other forms of dissemination of the features and information by means of public telecommunications is guaranteed. Censorship is prohibited. The protection of sources is guaranteed. Article 18. Freedom to use any language. The freedom to use any language is guaranteed. The right to an adequate and free basic education is guaranteed. Article 20. Academic freedom. Freedom of research and teaching is guaranteed. Article 21. Freedom of artistic expression. Freedom of artistic expression is guaranteed. Article 22. Freedom of assembly. Freedom of assembly is guaranteed. Every person has the right to organize meetings and to participate or not participate in meetings. Article 23. Freedom of association. Freedom of association is guaranteed. Every person has the right to form, join, or belong to an association and to participate in activities of an association. No person may be compelled to join or to belong in an association. Article 24. Freedom of domicile. Swiss citizens have the right to establish their domicile anywhere in the country. They have the right to leave or to enter Switzerland. Article 25. Protection against expulsion, extradition, and deportation. Swiss citizens may not be expelled from Switzerland and may only be extradited to a foreign authority with their consent. Refugees may not be deported or extradited to a state in which they will be persecuted. No person may be deported to a state in which they will face the threat of torture or any form of cruel or inhumane treatment or punishment. Article 26. Guarantee of ownership. The right to own property is guaranteed. The compulsory purchase of property and any restriction on ownership that is equivalent to compulsory purchase shall be compensated in full. Article 27. Economic freedom. Economic freedom is guaranteed. Economic freedom includes, in particular, the freedom to choose an occupation as well as the freedom to pursue a private economic activity. Article 28. Right to form professional associations. Employees, employers, and their organizations have the right to join together in order to protect their interests, to form associations, and to join or not join such associations. Disputes must, wherever possible, be resolved through negotiation or mediation. Strikes and lockouts are permitted if they relate to employment relations and if they do not contravene any requirements to preserve peaceful employment relations or to conduct reconciliation proceedings. The law may prohibit certain categories of person from taking strike action. Article 29. General procedural guarantees. Every person has the right to equal and fair treatment in judicial and administrative proceedings and to have their cases decided within a reasonable time. Each party to a case has the right to be heard. Any person who does not have sufficient means has the right to free legal advice and assistance under their case appears to have no prospect of success, unless there is no prospect of success. If it is necessary in order to safeguard their rights, they also have the right to free legal representation in court. Article 29. Guarantee of access to the courts. In a legal dispute, every person has the right to have their case determined by a judicial authority. The Confederation and the Cantons may, by law, preclude the determination by the courts of certain exceptional categories of cases.